I'm Ivan Radeka and I'm 53 years old. I grew up in Campbell River, British Columbia, smaller town at the time, midway up Vancouver Island on the east coast. At that time, it was primarily a fishing, logging, mining community, a lot of blue-collar workers. My dad and mom owned a construction company. They built spec houses and a few custom houses. He'd do all the heavy manual labor part with the help of others. He had some employees and stuff. And then my mom would do the things that were much easier. She'd do some of the bookkeeping. Later on, he did grow and grab lots of land when it was cheap, but that aspect of life changed in 1981 when the interest rates got to, I think it was 21% is what he told me. It was the early 80s. He basically lost almost everything, and in the late 80s he had to declare bankruptcy, and that was a struggle moving forward for our entire family. Up to 1981, I pretty much lived a life of privilege. My parents drove fancy cars. We had a modest home. It's a house that my dad purchased. It was actually an old logging camp bunkhouse that he totally rebuilt and added on. High school for me started in 1987, I guess it would be, or 86 or something. I played some sports in school. I don't think I was really good at any of them. I tried rugby, I tried basketball, I tried wrestling. It was hard to try because after my parents went through bankruptcy, there was a lot of troubles at home that made it hard for me to participate, and my parents eventually divorcing and everything that comes with that. So there wasn't a lot of opportunity because there wasn't any money to have any opportunity to do things. So I participated where I could with what I had and wasn't always the greatest, but I made an effort, and at least trying was better than not experiencing at all. I was fortunate enough that some close friends of mine that I knew got into skateboarding, and I followed in lockstep. At that time, skateboarding was not cool. The baggy clothes, the different music, the lingo, people hated us. But it also kind of gave you a sense of resilience, that kind of F you attitude towards people. I started doing work for my dad, right? Obviously he declared bankruptcy, but he still did construction work, so he contracted on the side. We used to jack up old houses and put new foundations under them. We would change rotten floors and crawl spaces, so changing structural components of houses. And I'm just a young kid. I'm 16 years old. I don't know much, and I learned a ton from it. I learned that you just sometimes have to do the things that you don't want to do to get to the places you want to go. By doing so, I met a lot of people in the construction industry in Campbell River, and I met this guy named Don Jesse, who in turn introduced me to his son-in-law Eve, who in turn we went to paint Don Jesse's outside of his house one time. Eve came to the house and asked if I'd go help him. I said, yeah, okay. So I went and helped him paint. Then I met Don's nephew, Gordon, and ironically, Gordon would play a pivotal role in the rest of my future. Ron and Gord always took the time to make you feel like you belonged. So I worked for Ron and Gord for years. We had a bit of a falling out. I left. Gord felt bad that I left. He ended up getting me indentured through the Carpenters Union in Campbell River, and I went to work on the bridges. So I was stopped at a construction zone. I got hit, and then I got knocked out for a few months. My neck was really messed up, my back. I recovered from that, and as I was recovering, Josh, who is actually my current business partner, came to my house one day and asked me if I was interested in going to Fort St. John with him to partner up and go work on some townhouses and duplexes and whatnot and do our own thing. Because he was working for Ron and Gord, but he had an opportunity and he wanted to share it with me. I really appreciated that. I ended up leaving Fort St. John, and then Ron and Gord and I ended up going to Edmonton because I told them, I'm thinking of going to Edmonton. You guys feel like helping me get started there? And they did. And it just all kind of turned out the way it did. All the choices led to that. And I moved to Edmonton in 2001. Gord asked if I wanted to come and work with the company and eventually become an owner. And I said yes. That would lead to my decision to become an owner in 090 Builders Group, which leads to today. I moved to Edmonton because Campbell River didn't offer me the opportunity that I was looking for. After visiting the prairies in Fort St. John and Edmonton one time, I seen the opportunity. I seen how diverse it was, how different it was from what I grew up around. There are a lot of good people here that care about the environment. They care about fresh air. They care about clean water. They care about opportunity. They care about education. They care about all the same things that people across the country care about. That's kind of why I came out here, is the patriotic feeling that I got when I came here. That's why I came to Edmonton, Alberta, my home.